Okay, so I'm gonna be talking about two different reform movements. It's gonna be the women's rights movement and the temperance movement. I'm gonna start with the women's rights movement, and it started because women and people thought that the women weren't being treated equal. They thought they had like certain limitations, that they couldn't like kind of that there were things that they couldn't really do. For example, like document one says that they were pretty much owned by the man as soon as they got married to him. They they couldn't own land, they couldn't own property or nor inherit it, and they were pretty much not a guardian of the kid. Like they weren't pretty much the legal guardian of the kid. It was pretty much just the father. Um, they did fight for rights, and pretty much a big thing that they did was in 1848, the Seneca Falls Convention. Now, this eventually led to the 19th Amendment in 1920, which gave them the right to vote. And after much fighting, after 1920, they did get better wages. The wage difference did change. They also fought for better education for children, better care for them. They also got help for they also fought for help for the deaf people, the dumb people, which were the mutes that can talk, and the blind people. Now, the most successful part of this, I believe, was the right to vote. They obtained the right to vote, which is a huge thing, like a huge thing. Now, moving on to the temperance movement. That one started because too many people believe that there was too much drinking. There was like drinking everywhere, and people thought that it wasn't good. It was the devil's drink or something like that. Now, what people wanted was abstinence. They wanted to abstain from the drinking of it, and after much fighting, they did get a law passed. I guess, yeah, the 18th Amendment, which you know pretty much said that the distribution and making of alcohol was pretty much illegal. Now, people did not like they did not respect this, so they they didn't want it, so they didn't respect it at all. Like they didn't respect it. Now, people didn't like alcohol for different reasons. They didn't think that it was a good thing. For example, they thought there was some people thought that it was like more dangerous than a disease. As said by document 5, it says 1,000 times more destructive to public health, and it continues to destroy. People thought that like alcohol was like a big thing. Like they thought that like it would destroy people and like I guess families. Well, it still does, right? But they thought back then it was like a bigger thing. Now, the prohibition era, during the 18th Amendment, it wasn't really successful. I mean, a lot of people, the gangsters or something like that, a bunch of people bootlegged alcohol underground, like selling stuff like alcohol. And then, um, for example, one of the people that arose was like Al Capone in Chicago, and just a big mess was called. And eventually, the 18th Amendment was repealed, and it was like okay, it's not it's legal again now. While it did fail, it did accomplish some things. For example, after the 18th Amendment, there was a huge like reduce in the consumption of alcohol. Like there's less people that consume alcohol than there was back then. So it did cause a change. So it wasn't useless. So yeah, that was pretty much the women's rights movement and the temperance movement.